Hi, I'm Allison Ladon Darowi. Welcome to the Ladon Method. This is our feels class. So we're going to get started today in a tabletop, stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And you can begin to move through cat and cow dropping the belly low, chin and hips high, and cat hollowing out, chin towards chest, pelvis towards navel. Inhale as the belly drops low. Exhale as you begin to hollow out, finding that depth and length of breath here. Longer inhales, longer exhales, finding that full capacity of the lungs. Feeling free to pause on each side of the movement for as long as you like. Try to fill up the room with the sound of your breath. And once you're ready, you'll find a nice neutral spine. Let's curl the toes under, lifting the hips up and back. Feeling your sit bones reach up and back towards where the back wall and the ceiling meet, coming into that down dog, lengthening the spine here. You can begin to nod your head right to left, up and down, releasing some tension from the back of the neck. You can find stillness with the head. Maybe you begin to pedal out the feet, feeling your sit bones continue to reach up and back. Find your spine continues to lengthen as you pedal out the feet, bending one knee then the other and allowing the opposite heel to melt closer to the mat, the opposite heel of the bent knee. As you alternate, breathe into it. Then on your own time, find stillness. Take another round of breath in your down dog. And at the bottom of an exhale, begin to step your feet forward, coming into a ragdoll at the top of the mat. You can bring a nice bend into your knees, relaxing your belly onto your thighs, allowing your torso to relax down. Just release all of the tension. From the back of the neck, you can nod the head right to left, up and down. Eventually find stillness. Maintain a nice bend in your knees. Slowly roll it all the way up to standing, one vertebra at a time. Your neck and head should be the last things to rise. Finding your alignment here, feeling that rotation of pelvis towards navel. Rolling the shoulders back and down along the spine, allowing you to broaden across your chest. Getting the neck long, feeling the crown of the head reach up towards the ceiling. Bringing the arms high overhead. Get nice and tall while relaxing the shoulders down. Feel your fingertips reach up towards the ceiling. Let's find cactus arms, about 90-degree bends in the elbows. Feel your belly button move towards the spine as you begin to reach your chest high. Feel your shoulder blades move towards one another. You're leading with the chest, feeling it reach up towards the ceiling, trying not to allow your hips to come forward, feeling that continuous rotation of pelvis towards navel. Another round of breath here, and then on an inhale, we'll take it to standing, getting tall. On an exhale, we'll swan dive it forward. So arms come out wide, palms face down, lead with the chest as you fold it forward. On an inhale, let's lift it up halfway with a nice flat back, bringing fingertips to your shins right beneath the knees. Lengthen your spine. Feel the crown of the head reach forward as your hips reach towards the back. Plant your palms. On an exhale, we'll step it back to a high plank, top of a push-up, lowering onto your knees. As slowly as you can, lower all the way down onto your chest. Lead with your chest. Elbows reach towards the back of the room rather than out to the sides as you lower down. Find tented fingertips to frame the sides of the mat. Press down the tops of the feet, the nail side of the feet. Engage your quads, the muscles above the knees. And you want your arms nice and wide with those tented fingertips, giving you some room here. Inhale, reach your chest forward. On an exhale, dip one shoulder towards the center of the mat. Inhale, let's take it to center. Exhale, dip the opposite shoulder towards the center of the mat. Take another couple rounds here, moving at your own pace. Good. On your own time, we'll lower all the way down onto the mat. Plant your palms onto the mat. Let's rise it up to a tabletop, back into a downward facing dog. Taking another round of breath here. And at the bottom of an exhale, you can step to the top of the mat. Finding a nice bend in the knees. Let your head hang heavy, roll it all the way up to standing. Neck and head should be the last things to rise. Bring the arms high overhead, finding cactus arms, reaching your heart high, shining the heart upward. On an inhale, we'll take it to an upright. On an exhale, swan diving it forward, leading with the chest. On an inhale, let's lift it up halfway with a nice flat back. Plant your palms, step it back to a high plank, top of a push-up. Lower onto your knees, taking a modified plank here. Lead with your chest, lowering down as slowly as you can. Remember, your elbows graze your side body, reaching towards the back of the room rather than out to the sides. From here, plant the tops of the feet onto the mat. Slide your hands in line with your low ribs and begin to peel your chest off the mat, feeling your chest reach forward. You can stay pretty low in your low cobra here. Continue to engage the legs. I'm gonna stay here for a couple rounds of breath, and you can stay here, or you can begin to come into an up dog where you peel your chest off the mat, reaching your chest forward, allowing your knees and thighs to hover off the mat. But you wanna feel the belly button move towards the spine to really protect the low back, engage your core. On your own time, you can make your way into a tabletop and back into a down dog. At the bottom of an exhale, let's step to the top of the mat. Find that nice bend in your knees. You can either bring your feet hip distance or big toes together to touch. Keep that bend in the knees, and let's roll it all the way up to standing one more time. Your neck and head should be the last things to rise. Let's bring the arms high overhead, finding those cactus arms, shine that heart upward. Maybe you take it a little bit further this third time through. Just see where you want to take it, opening the heart. On an inhale, we'll take it to an upright. On an exhale, let's swan dive it forward. Arms out wide, palms face down, lead with the chest, hinging forward at the hips. In this forward fold, stay here for a couple rounds of breath. You can always bring a nice bend into the knees. Feet can be hip distance or big toes together to touch. You can always grab onto the calves, making sure the belly is touching the thighs wherever you are. Maintain that belly to thigh connection. Maybe your forehead comes closer to the shins, but not forcing it. And once you're ready, release the grip. On an inhale, let's lift it up halfway with that nice flat back. On an exhale, let's plant the palms, step it back to a high plank, top of a push-up. On an exhale, take your time to get there. We're gonna move through chaturanga and up dog, or you can take the modification on the knees that we took earlier in a low cobra. You can move through your own pace, just see where you wanna take it. So if you're moving through chaturanga, you keep your body flat as a board. I'll demonstrate again. Keep your body flat as a board, lower halfway down, then you flip onto the tops of the feet, bringing the weight into the tops of the feet, and your hands opening across the chest, creating space between the shoulders and the ears. The neck is long. And remember, you always want to support the low back, never compressing it. And eventually we'll make our way back into our down dog. Take your time to get there. On your own time, on an inhale, let's lift our left leg high. You can bend in your left knee. At the same time as you're opening the hips up towards the left, try to square off the shoulders to the mat. See if you can allow your right heel to melt towards the mat a little bit further. As you open your hips to the left, you can stay here, or you can begin to draw nice big circles with that left knee, opening up the hip even more. You can reverse the direction of those circles. And then once you're ready, let's square off the hips, reaching that left leg high. Step through to a low lunge. From here, we'll rise up to a crescent lunge, finding your stability. Square off the hips to the top of the mat.
From here, keep your spine long. Keep your arms in line with the ears. Maintain that nice bend in your front knee. So know in your crescent lunge, the right heel is facing the ceiling. You're only planting that right sole of the foot. As you maintain the length of the spine, we'll begin to hinge forward at the hips. So feel as though you're holding a ball over your head. Try to keep your arms in line with the ears. Just hinging it forward. And take it back to an upright. I'm gonna take another round here, just hinging it forward. From here, bring your hands to heart center, and we'll lift off, taking it in to a warrior three here. Your right heel is reaching towards the back as the crown of the head is reaching forward, finding your stability here, focusing on one non-moving point. Then we'll lower the hands down to frame our left foot. From here, you're landing the right foot back onto the mat. On an inhale, we'll reach the chest forward in our low lunge. On an exhale, you can work towards straightening the front leg. It's okay if it's not perfectly straight here. You can always keep a bend in the knee. Working towards folding the torso over the leg here as we transition, so your belly moves towards the thigh. Inhale as you bend in the front knee, reaching your chest forward. Exhale as you straighten the front leg, feeling the belly melt towards the thigh. Moving at your own pace. If you're feeling really open here, with both legs straight, you can come on to that left heel, but don't force it. It can be a pretty intense stretch. Really stretches out your calf and your hamstring. Wherever you are, make sure your hips stay nice and squared off to the top of the mat. Good. From here, let's return to our low lunge. Lower on to your right knee. Plant your right hand. Let's reach those left fingertips high. Coming into a modified twist here. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, you might twist a little bit more. You can always bring your left hand to your left thigh, giving you a little bit more leverage to maybe twist a bit further, but not forcing it. Breathing into it. Good. From here, let's lower our left hand back onto the mat. Curl your right toes under, lifting your right knee off the mat. And from here, we'll step back into a high plank, moving through your flow of choice. You can move it through chaturanga, an up dog. You can always skip out on it. You can move through cat and cow. You can always move straight into down dog, but just see where you want to take this. Taking a couple rounds of breath in our down dog. Once you're ready to move on to the other side, we'll extend that right leg high, bending at the right knee. Take a moment to set yourself up here. So while your hips are opening towards the right, again, you want to make sure your shoulders are squared off towards the mat. And try not to allow that left heel to lift up really high. You want to feel the heel melt towards the mat, so you're stretching that left leg at the same time. And then you might begin to draw nice big circles with your right knee. Opening up the hip, you can take those circles in the opposite direction. Breathing into it, and once you're ready, inhale, reach that right leg high. On an exhale, we'll step through to a low lunge. From your low lunge, we'll rise it up to our crescent lunge. Take your time to set yourself up here. Get your hips nice and squared off to the top of the mat. Make sure your right knee is right above the ankle. Your back heel is lifted. Your back foot is perpendicular to the mat. Your left thigh reaches up towards the ceiling, and remember that we're not sticking the butt out here. I want to feel that rotation of pelvis towards navel, finding that nice neutral spine. You can feel a neutral spine by touching your low back, making sure it feels more like a plateau than a valley. Reach your fingertips high. Try to keep your arms in line with your ears. As one unit, allow your torso to reach forward as if you're holding that ball overhead. Holding it. Then we'll take it back to an upright. Once again, hinging it forward as if we're holding that ball overhead. Then we'll take it back to an upright. From here, let's bring the hands to heart center, and we'll prepare to lift off, coming in to that warrior three once again. You can begin to lift your back heel off the mat, allowing that back foot to float. Try to lower your left hip in line with your right. Feel that active flow in opposite directions. Crown of the head and heel reach in opposite directions. And once you're ready, we'll lower the hands down to frame that front foot. Lower your left sole of the foot back onto the mat. So we're in a low lunge now. From your low lunge, make sure that right knee stays right above the ankle. Try not to allow the knee to go past the toes. Inhale, reach your chest forward. On an exhale, we'll work towards straightening that front leg, just working towards it if it's okay, if it's not quite there. Just make sure you're not locking the knee. We'll feel the belly move towards the thigh. And on an inhale, nice bend in that front knee, reaching your chest forward. On an exhale, straightening the front leg, draping the torso over that front leg, or just moving in that direction. Remember, you want to get belly to thigh first before working towards bringing your forehead towards your shin. And you also have the option to come onto your heel with that front leg straight. If you want to come deeper into your calf and hamstring, again, don't force it. Just move at your own pace here as you transition between these two postures. Just see where you want to take it and feeling free to pause on one side of the movement if you need a little bit more time there. Good. And then once you're ready, from here, we'll lower on to that back knee, preparing to come into a twist. Plant your left palm and we'll reach the right fingertips high, opening the chest towards the right side. You can always plant your right hand onto the thigh, giving you a little bit more leverage. But wherever you are, as you inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, you might twist a little bit more. Breathing into it. And once you're ready, let's lower the right hand down. Curl your back toes under, lifting your left knee off the mat. Step it back into your high plank, top of a push-up, moving through your flow of choice. Maybe it's that modification on the knees in a low cobra. Maybe you're cat and cow, maybe straight into down dog. Just see what your body needs. Eventually we'll all meet in our down dog. Reacquainting yourself with your breath if you lost it somewhere along the way. Feel greater length in the spine in your down dog. Feel your sit bones continue to reach up and back. On an inhale, let's reach the left leg high. On an exhale, step it through to a low lunge. From here, let's rise it up to our crescent lunge. Allow your right fingertips to graze your back thigh. Keep your hips squared off to the front of the mat. Keep that nice bend in your front knee. Lead with your chest. Feel your chest reach up towards the ceiling as your left hand faces the back of the room, taking a slight back bend here. And take it to an upright, reaching your fingertips high, both hands nice and high. Bringing your arms in line with the ears. Make sure those hips are still squared off. Your left knee is stacked right above the ankle. We'll hinge forward at the hips one more time, creating that nice long line of energy all the way out from the back heel through the fingertips. Take it back to an upright. Let's once again hinge it forward and take it to an upright. From here, bring your hands to heart center. We'll lift it off into that warrior three once again, finding our stability, finding our balance, then landing in a low lunge, lowering your hands down, lowering your right sole of the foot down. From here, we'll lower onto the back knee, bringing your torso upright, bringing your fingertips high. Bring your hands to heart center. Make sure that left knee is right above the ankle. Take a nice big inhale. On an exhale, let's hook the right elbow to the outside of that left knee, coming into our modified crescent, revolved crescent lunge. So here we're focusing more on twisting more than the balancing in this particular posture. As you inhale, you might lengthen the spine a little bit more. As you exhale, you might twist a little bit more, seeing where your depth is here. Good. And then from here, lower your hands to the inside of your left foot. If you're feeling more open, you can work towards really stretching out your quad here. So you can bend in your right knee, and you could just stay here if you're already feeling this quite a bit, feeling your heel, that right heel move towards your glute, towards that right butt cheek. Or if you're a little bit more open, you can reach around with your left hand, grabbing on to your right ankle, feeling the heel continue to move towards the glute, taking it deeper. You can leverage it, seeing where you want to take it. Breathing into it. And on your own time, very gently, try not to allow the leg to fling back. You'll release, gently lowering it down. Plant both hands to the inside of that left foot. Curl your back toes under. We'll lift the back knee off the mat, stepping it back into your high plank. You can move through your flow of choice, or you can take it straight into a down dog. Just see where you want to take it here. Taking a couple rounds of breath in your down dog. And on an inhale, we'll reach that right leg high. On an exhale, step it through to a low lunge. From here, we'll rise it up to our crescent lunge. Take your time to set yourself up here. You've been here a number of times before. We'll allow the left fingertips to graze the back thigh on this side. Feel your chest reach up towards the ceiling. Face your right hand towards the back of the room. The pinky finger turns in. You're leading with the chest here, feeling as though a string is pulling the chest up towards the ceiling. Good. Take it to an upright, reaching the fingertips high. Both arms are reaching high. Try to keep the arms in line with the ears. You're one unit. Your torso is one unit as you begin to hinge forward. Feeling that energetic line of energy coming from the back heel all the way out through your fingertips. Now let's take it back to an upright. Let's take one more, hinging forward at the hips and taking it back to an upright. Bringing the hands to heart center, lifting off, taking it into that warrior three once again. Feeling that energetic pull in opposite directions, the crown of the head and the heel, and then we'll land here, lowering the hands down, coming into a low lunge. We'll lower on to our back knee. From here, bringing the torso to an upright, your arms are in line with the ears, your right knee stacked right above the ankle. Bring your hands to heart center, and we'll prepare to come into our modified revolve crescent lunge on this side. So you'll hook your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh, beginning to twist towards the right. Giving you a little bit more leverage here, not focusing as much on balancing, but more about twisting, really wringing out the body. As you inhale, you might get a little bit longer. As you exhale, you might twist a little bit more. And once you're ready, let's lower the hands to the inside of your right foot here. So you can stay here. You might bring your left heel towards your left glute. Maybe you might take it a little bit further if you're feeling more open, but again, don't force it. This really stretches out the quad, that front of the thigh right above the knee. But if you want to take it further, you take your right hand, grabbing onto your left ankle, making sure that your heel is in line with the knee, your knee is in line with your hip, so you're not tweaking your knee at all. And then just feel the heel move towards the glute, towards that left butt cheek. Breathing into it, finding that calmness of breath as you breathe in and out through your nose. Staying here for another round of breath. And once you're ready, you can release the foot. You can lower that right hand down if you took that further extension of the posture. We'll curl our back toes under, lifting the back knee off the mat. Step it back in to your high plank. You can move through one more flow here. Maybe you're moving straight into your down dog. Taking a nice body scan here, seeing what feels good, what feels different. Taking any organic movement you might like here in your final down dog of practice. And then once you're ready, you can step to the top of the mat. We'll take it in to a comfortable seated position, bringing your feet forward, your palms face up as slowly as you can. Let's lower it all the way down onto the mat. And from here, walk your heels in towards your hips. And then we'll bring the left ankle above the right knee. Keep your left foot nice and flexed here. And begin inviting your right knee in towards your chest. You can interlace your fingers across your right hamstring or across your right shin. Just seeing where your depth is here. Try to keep the back of your neck long. A lot of us have a propensity to allow the chin to come up. So instead, see if you can lengthen the back of the neck. Sticking with your breath here, finding that calmness of your breath in and out through the nose. Notice that when you find that calmness of breath, that your body begins to relax and it allows you to move more freely. When you find shortness of breath, it causes some stress on the body, causing you to tense up a bit more. Just allow your mind to relax, thereby allowing your body to relax. Just see where you want to take this. That right knee might come even closer to the chest, but make sure you're still flexing that left foot to help protect that left knee. Good. Once you're ready here, we're going to lower the right foot back onto the mat. Keep your left ankle where it is, and then you're going to come into a cross-leg position. So you're bringing your left knee on top of the right. Spread your arms out like wings, in line with the shoulders. We're going to scooch the hips slightly over to the left. So you're just lifting the hips up, bringing them to the left, plopping them down, and then allow both legs to fall towards the right side of the room as you bring your gaze towards your left fingertips, taking a spinal twist here. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, twist a little bit more. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can always unwind the legs and just bring the knees together to touch. So just see what works for you. Every day is a little bit different. Every body is a little bit different. Breathing into this, cleansing the body here. Just beginning to slow things down. And we'll take it back to center, unwinding the legs. And from here, let's start with your feet parallel in hip distance here, with your knees bent, feet planted on the mat, then bring your right ankle above your left knee. We're gonna come into our figure 4 on this side. So make sure that right foot is nice and flexed, and begin inviting your left knee towards your chest. You can interlace your fingers across your left hamstring or across your left shin. Pay attention to what the back of the neck is doing, trying to get it long here, rather than allowing the chin to move up towards the ceiling. Breathe into this. Seeing where your depth is on this side. Many of us hold a lot of emotion in our hips. We also tend to lead with our more dominant side, so you'll often feel a large disparity of flexibility from one side to the other. It's normal. It's not unusual in any way. But we're trying to even it out a bit here. Checking in with that full depth of breath. Make sure you're completely inhaling, completely exhaling. Good. From here, we'll release the interlace of the fingers. Lower your left foot onto the mat. So you're keeping this alignment of the legs, but then come into a cross-leg position. So you're bringing your right knee right on top of the left, bringing the arms out like wings in line with your shoulders. Lift your hips up, gently scooching them over to the right. So you're plopping those hips down slightly to the right. And then allow both legs to fall to the left, bringing your gaze towards your right fingertips. Feeling that energetic pull in opposite directions as you twist and wring out the body, allowing your body to cleanse. As you inhale, you might find greater length of your spine. As you exhale, you might twist a little bit more, feeling that pull in opposite directions slightly more. And remember, if this is uncomfortable on your legs, you can always uncross the legs, bringing knee on top of knee. So just see what works for you. And once you're ready, we'll take it back to center, unwinding the legs. From here, bringing your feet parallel in hip distance, planting the feet on the mat. Your knees are right above the ankles. We'll grab onto the sides of the mat, finding a bridge pose, lifting your hips up towards the ceiling. Try to keep your knees stacked right above the ankles. See where you want to take this. Feel your shoulder blades move towards one another. Maybe lift the hips a little bit higher. And as slowly as you can, lower down from upper, middle to lower back. Hug your knees in towards your chest, rocking from right to left. You begin to draw circles on the ceiling of the knees, massaging your low back. You can take those circles in the opposite direction. Finding stillness. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms across your shins, tucking yourself into a tiny little ball, giving yourself a nice big hug. Taking little sips of air in through the nose. On an exhale, releasing onto your mat. Extending your feet towards the top of the mat. Getting the legs long. Bringing your arms slightly away from your side body. Feel the shoulder blades melt down towards your heels. Just allow yourself to be here. Finding that sense of gratitude. Gratitude towards yourself, towards your body, for all of the things it can do. And giving yourself a break here in your mind. Just allow yourself to feel clarity. Thank you for moving with me today. Thank you for holding me accountable to you. I'm sending lots of love and positive energy your way. I can't wait to move with you next time. Please stay here for as long as you like. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.